A movement permit, also known as a custom ranged permit, allows for the transportation of livestock in documented ranges, including within and across state lines. Accessing the movement permit. Movement permits can be created, edited, cloned, and viewed by supervisors, and viewed by inspectors or supervisors. Inspectors can view and edit the movement permits that have been assigned to them. To create a movement permit, supervisors must log on with their username and password at the WLSB homepage. Access the movement permit table under the brand inspection, then Forms submenu. The table displays existing movement permits arranged by date created. Add a movement permit by selecting the Add Movement Permit button on the top right side of the table. This button is not available to inspectors without supervisor permissions. Filling out the movement permit form for supervisors. First, supervisors must select what type of movement permit to create. At the top of the form is a pull-down menu from which to select the permit type. Supervisors may choose to create an out-of-state movement permit or an in-state movement permit. In an in-state movement permit, the supervisor must provide details regarding the purpose for movement and permit fees. General information. In the General Information section, supervisors can fill in basic details about the permit. The permit number field will automatically populate with a unique identifier. Supervisors must select whether the permit is pending, approved, disapproved, or issued from the drop-down status menu. The default status is pending. The name of the brand inspector assigned to the movement permit in question should be selected in the Assigned To section. The Assigned To section will automatically select the supervisor who is logged in, but another inspector can be selected from the pull-down menu. The creation date automatically fills in with the date the movement permit was created. Supervisors can select the date the permit was approved in the Approved Date field and the date the permit was issued in the Issued Date field. Owner information. In the Owner Information section, the supervisor is asked to provide details about the owner of the transported livestock. Fill in the name and address. Begin typing the zip code. A menu will appear with a list of Wyoming, South Dakota, and Colorado zip codes. After selecting a zip code, the city, state, and county fields will fill in automatically. Origin information. In the Origin Information section, supervisors must provide details about the point of origin of the animals. If this information is the same as the owner's, supervisors can select Same as Owner in order to fill out the section automatically with the information from the Owner Information section. Otherwise, this section can be filled out manually. Holding brand. The Holding Brand section provides information about the brands of the livestock granted transportation rights by the movement permit. Supervisors can add brands by using the brand drawing tool or by searching. A complete discussion of the drawing tool can be found in the drawing tool tutorial. To draw a brand, select Draw Brand. To search for a brand, select Search Brand. The brand search tool is the same as the other brand searches found on the WLSB website. The brandabetical search allows for inspectors to search based on the names of the brand characters and is only available online. The search contains a pre-populated list of brand characters. For example, typing in bootjack or search term 098 in the search box will bring up brands containing a bootjack character. The list of search terms will appear once inspectors begin typing, and inspectors can select the desired character from the list. Brand results can also be filtered according to their status by selecting from the Status menu. By default, the list displays active brands, but inspectors can also choose to view delinquent or abandoned brands. Select the appropriate brand by clicking a check mark in the row of desired brand. After selecting the brand, choose the correct location from the registered locations that appear with the brand at the bottom of the brand search box. Select Submit at the bottom of the search dialog box to save the brand to the permit or cancel to exit without saving changes. The selected brand will appear on the brand table. The entry can be removed by selecting the Remove icon to the right of the brand. Inspectors can Also view a larger image of the brand by clicking anywhere in the row of the brand. To close the larger image, click on the larger image that appears. Purpose of movement. The purpose of movement section must be filled out for in-state movement permits. Select the appropriate species from the pull-down species menu and provide an estimated number of head in the approx head field. Select the checkbox next to the appropriate designation to indicate the purpose for movement. Destination information. The destination information provides details about where the livestock is being transported. Fill in the name of the destination and the address. Like in other owner information section, typing a zip code will automatically put in the appropriate information in the city, state, and county selections. Signatures. The supervisor's signature printed field will automatically fill in with the name of the supervisor. The supervisor's signature will fill in automatically if the supervisor has created a signature on his or her profile. Otherwise, the supervisor can sign this in the same manner as the owner. Filling out the movement permit form. If a supervisor assigns a movement permit to an inspector, then that permit can be edited by an inspector. The movement permit table shows the forms assigned to the inspector that is logged in by default. That is, the table is set to display forms inspected by me. Click on the edit icon. In the general information section, the permit number, assigned to, and creation date fields are automatically filled out and cannot be modified. Inspectors must select the appropriate status of the form under the status field. If applicable, the approved date and issued date can be changed. Permit fees. The permit fees section must be filled out for an in-state movement permit. In the permit fees section, the total fees are calculated based on the type of movement permit. Select the payment method. If no payment was received at the time of service, i.e. running a tab, select none. Otherwise, select credit, debit, check, or cash. Fill in the date of the payment in the date received field. Signatures. The owner signature printed section will automatically populate with the name of the owner. The owner should sign in the signature field. Select the sign button, which will cause the signature box to appear in which the owner can sign using his or her finger if on a tablet. Select clear to erase the signature and start over. Cancel to exit the signature box without saving changes, or sign once satisfied with the signature. All other sections, owner information, origin information, holding brands, purpose of movement, permit fees, destination information, and signatures will retain the information put in by the supervisor who created the permit. All of these sections can be updated manually. For more information on filling out these sections, see Filling Out the Movement Permit Form for Supervisors section of this video. Print. To print the movement permit, make sure the printer is set up appropriately. Once set up, select the print icon in the bottom left or top left corner of the movement permit form. This will bring up the print dialog box window. Offline movement permit. To access the movement permit offline, log into the WLSB offline website. On the offline dashboard, select Movement Permit from the list of available forms. The movement permit can be filled out offline by inspectors and function exactly the same as the online version. The only difference between the online and offline forms is the brand search feature. In the offline form, the brand medical search is not available. However, the other search features, including brand status and specific search terms, can be used. On the offline movement permit table, only forms from the last 30 days will show. Fill out the offline movement permit exactly as if it were online, making sure to save changes. When internet access has been reestablished, log back into the WLSB application with the appropriate username and password. Any forms created while offline should automatically be uploaded. The inspector can edit or clone offline movement permits just like they would any other form. Once internet access is restored, the permit will upload to the WLSB website and become available to the assigned inspector. The inspector can then view or edit the form as usual, online or offline. The Movement Permit Table. To access the Movement Permit Table, log into the Wyoming Livestock Board application with the appropriate username and password. From the Brand Inspection menu, select the Forms submenu, then select the Movement Permit from the Forms submenu. By default, the inspector will be presented with the movement permits they have filled out themselves. By default, the most recent movement permits will be at the top of the table. The inspector can change which movement permits appear by altering the search criteria. The box Inspected By filters shows results by who's filled out the movement permit. The inspector can also select to view movement permits filled out by all inspectors, all, or only those the inspector he or she has filled out him or herself, me. Another way to limit the results is by the filter and search features. An inspector can search the movement permits according to different criteria and using the specific search terms. For example, if the inspector wants to find a certain movement permit by its permit number, he or she could search by permit number and type the permit number into the search box. Hitting enter or clicking the magnifying glass icon will bring up the movement permit that matches the criteria. If inspectors would like to sort the results of the movement permit table by different criteria, permit number, inspector name, supervisor name, owner name, permit type, date, or status, simply click on the table header containing the criteria by which he or she would like to sort. This will cause the movement permits to be organized according to that criteria. For example, an inspector can sort by owner name, which will arrange the movement permits according to owner name in alphabetical order. Supervisors have the ability to clone a permit. Cloning a permit will create another form with most of the same information. The clone form will be set to pending status by default, though this can be edited. Inspectors will need to select a new approved date and issued date if applicable, but all other information will carry over from the original form. Common buttons on the movement permit and WLSB forms. There are two common buttons on the top and bottom of Save. When the movement permit has been finished, or should the inspector want to come back later and finish the movement permit, simply select the Save button in the bottom right or top right of the form. This saves all of the information the inspector has added on the movement permit. Inspectors should make sure that a movement permit is not left open and on a tablet left idle while online. The WLSB auto-logs out in 60 minutes and any unsaved data will be lost. Cancel. To exit the movement permit without saving changes, select the Cancel button that is to the left of the Save button in the top right and bottom right of the form. An application modal will appear to verify canceling the changes. Note: the movement permit number will be lost, meaning that the next time the inspector fills out a movement permit, it will have a new number. This concludes our movement permit training. We hope that you found this information helpful.